Welcome, everyone. Good morning. This is our fifth and last doctoral meeting session within the program of Aerospace Science, PhD program on Aerospace Science and Technology. Today, we're going to be listening to six presentations, six ongoing PhDs on topics. There's a bit of miscellaneous, but topics related to mainly air navigation and control. We have three talks on optimal control, optimization algorithms for aircraft trajectories. Then we'll see a talk on airborne wind energy related to aeroelasticity by Ivan and so on and so forth. And then space systems, GNC and space systems by Alberto and Alison. So welcome everyone. Thank you very much to the speakers, presenters. Thank you also to the supervisors and the rest of the audience. Hopefully some more people will be joining.
Perfect. So let's start. Hi everyone. So I'm Alison, and today I'm going to talk about my PhD research. But first, I would like to highlight that my presentation will be quite high level, because my objective was more to give you a good overview of my research as I joined the university this year. But I also have additional slides in case you want more details in the end. So yeah, let's start. So my project is called Integrated Multi-Actuator Control Design for Multi-Body Line of Sight Pointing of Space Missions. So it mixes control theory and aerospace engineering. I will go more into details afterwards concerning the setup of the project. So first, I will motivate the work by putting it into an industrial context, and then I will move to the thesis objectives, and afterwards I will present the current status and conclude with some current results. So shortly about me, as I just joined, I would like to be physical, of course, but shortly I am French and I graduated in 2018 in Super-Héros, and I did a lot of control there. And also I did 2 internships during a gap year, which really made me want to continue in that field. And that's why I did my master thesis working on the derivation validation of a multi-body dynamics for the future ESA Space Telescope Athena. And this was a preparation for the PhD. And concerning the PhD, so the main objective of it is to propose a robust and systematic control design for multi-body and multi-actuator spacecraft. So I will define afterwards what a multi-body, multi-actuator spacecraft is. But mainly, the work will consist in study, derive, and consolidate advanced modeling method, and also control and analysis methods applied to this kind of spacecraft. So the main contributions of the PhD will be to be able to simulate and to control a spacecraft with interconnected bodies, actuated by a hexapod and attitude actuators, so standard actuators like reaction wheels or thrusters. So then the goal, of course, is to make the technology available for future missions, which will use this kind of spacecraft architecture. And also, as there are multi-body and multi-actuator spacecraft, the goal is also to be able to guide the spacecraft by moving at the same time some moving parts of the spacecraft and also performing maneuvers. So the setup of the PhD, it's an industrial PhD funded by Airbus in Germany. And my supervisor at the University of Madrid is Andres Marcos. And my supervisor at Airbus is Thomas Ott. And I started the research at the University of Bristol, and then I am continuing it in Madrid, following a supervisor who came to Madrid. Exactly, so this was really an overview of the PhD, but now the motivation of the research. So actually, the science goals for future observation missions are becoming really demanding in terms of availability, precision, and also spacecraft agility requirements. And these demands are driven by the fact that the maximization of the operational availability, so operational time, and also the maximization of the scientific image resolution with multiple instruments would lead to an increased scientific return. So right now, the currently envisioned design solutions in Europe rely on the use of multi-body and multi-actuator spacecraft that offer the possibility to perform interconnected maneuvers between the main body and the relatively moving part, which is a scientific part, which can be a payload or an instrument. So I have put some examples here. So the three spacecraft you can see are Ariel, JUICE, and Athena, all future ESA missions. So ESA for European Space Agency missions. And these missions will use this type of spacecraft architectures. So for Ariel on the left, for example, it's a fine steering mechanism that enables to move a small secondary mirror in 3 degrees of freedom, so 1 translational and 2 rotational. For JUICE in the middle, as you can directly see, you have the proportion of the solar arrays is quite big compared to the rest of the spacecraft. And the solar arrays also rotate thanks to the solar array drive mechanism. So these solar arrays move and change the inertia of the spacecraft when they move. So it has a huge impact on the dynamics of the spacecraft. So concerning JUICE, the spacecraft can move passively because of the flexibility of the solar arrays. And for Athena, so it's a spacecraft I worked on during my master thesis at Airbus. It has a big, large mirror module that you can see at the front of the spacecraft. And this mirror is moved in 6 degrees of freedom, so in all directions, thanks to a hexapod mechanism. And on top of that, you also have large solar arrays that can also impact the spacecraft dynamics. So the common point of this spacecraft is that they're all multi-body and multi-actuator spacecraft. And also for this spacecraft, it's not only important to control the attitude, we speak more about the line of sight control for such spacecraft, because the line of sight is not only defined by the spacecraft attitude, it's also defined by the relative position and orientation of the moving parts with respect to the rest of the spacecraft. Because as you can imagine, if you have a part of the spacecraft that moves, as the spacecraft is in space, and we speak of large parts, like the solar arrays or the huge mirror for Athena that is more than 1/5 the global mass of the spacecraft. So when you have a mass like this moving, then the rest of the spacecraft moves correspondingly in the other direction as a direction. So you see the need of modeling first this kind of spacecraft and also controlling this spacecraft. So these architectures are promising because they can really improve the science performance by satisfying fine body requirements and also improve the maneuver autonomy. But they represent control, or they induce big control design challenges. So modern robust modeling and control design techniques can enable to deal with such system architectures. And the objective of my research is to propose a robust and systematic control design for these future missions, which is without precedent in Europe. So the case study I'm using in my PhD in order to stay general and be able to propose a systematic solution is a multi-body and multi-actuator spacecraft composed of a fixed main body, a large active moving mass, which can move in 6 degrees of freedom, thanks to a hexapod mechanism. So we took this kind of mechanism because it's articulated, quite complex, and we were thinking if we use this kind of mechanism, then we cover a large range of actuated mechanisms. And then we also decided to study spacecraft with large solar arrays in order to have an effect from the flexibility on the spacecraft motion. And the solar arrays can also rotate around the solar array drive mechanism. So now that I've presented this case study, I can present more into detail the objectives. So as I told you, I started the PhD in Bristol, and there the objectives, or the first objectives, were to model robustly the spacecraft. So the idea for that is to be able to characterize the impact of the motion of the mass on the rest of the spacecraft. And the robust framework enables to have a proof of stability and performance within a whole range of uncertainty. So the idea for us is really to stay into this framework, so to model the spacecraft with uncertainties, with all the effects and disturbances, in order to control it robustly using H-infinity and mu methods, and also to verify and analyze the system afterwards using also advanced analysis method like mu, and probably IQC if mu is not sufficient, if we cannot anymore, if linear methods don't suffice at the end, because we have time varying parameters like a time varying moment of inertia, as I was saying before. So the modeling is the first step. So this is done by deriving the spacecraft dynamics equations of motion. And then once the modeling is done, the control design can be done by applying robust approaches. And then the goal is to analyze the obtained controller on a high fidelity simulator. The guidance is a bit, let's say, outside this process, but it's still important, because it's important to also have a good guidance in order, or to mix a good guidance with a robust control design. And then the verification part will be done at Airbus on a high fidelity simulator for such spacecraft. And then hopefully we will manage to generalize these methods to other multi-body and multi-actuation missions. So the current status regarding this, in Bristol, I have already been busy with the guidance and with the robust modeling of the spacecraft. So now I am analyzing the model we have with the controller that was already available, that had been designed, not robustly designed, so it was a single body controller. So we analyzed it, and then the next step will be to design a controller from our uncertain model of the spacecraft. And so this is the next step. Within my PhD, I have presented several times my work. So at the University of Bristol, I had the opportunity to present at the Dynamics and Control Seminar. And also I presented my work during the Advances in Process Automation and Control, so the UK ICC conference. I could present a poster, and I won the poster session by presenting the modeling of the modeling methods we were investigating for the spacecraft. Then I have presented also during the ESA GNC conference. It was last week, so it was originally planned in 2020. It has been postponed due to the situation. But I could present finally the work. So I presented the robust modeling of the spacecraft during that conference. And also at Airbus, there are joint progress meeting between the university and Airbus regularly, where I present the work to experts, of course to the supervisors and also to experts in the field. We also had a PhD colloquium in 2019, where we could also exchange with the Airbus AOCS experts. And then, yes, of course, the kickoff meeting of the project too. I also attended a lot of different workshops and conferences that enabled me to understand even more about LPV methods in particular, because I attended a few on linear parameter varying systems, which will probably be the next step also in the project. So now I will move to some current results. So as I said before, I can detail more if you want more details, but mainly what we have done in this step was first this model in purple, which consisted in catching the multibody effect of the spacecraft in the moment of inertia matrix. So we didn't only say, okay, the mass and inertia are uncertain, but we decided to catch the uncertainty of the mechanism, so the hexapod mechanism in this framework. So we studied I studied the span of the mechanism, and then I could derive a LFT model out of it. So a LFT model is a linear model where we can catch the uncertainty of the parameters. And then once this step was done, I could augment this model to solar arrays with flexibilities, with uncertain flexible modes and also an uncertain rotation angle of the solar array. And this leads to an advanced LFT model of the spacecraft with all the multibody effects that we can then use in a linear model for analysis or for design. So then I tested this model with the current controller that was available from the first phase controller. And actually, as it was designed for a rigid model, it is not able to cope with the flexible behavior of the system. So you can see that the nominal system is stable, but some samples are unstable. And this is confirmed when we perform a mu analysis on it. The sensitivity analysis provides that the rotation angle is quite critical for us in making the system unstable. And the flexible mode also have an impact, but a less important one. So the next step, as I was saying before, will be to design a new controller being able to cope with the multibody effects and with the solar array flexibility. So yeah, thank you for your attention, and if you have questions, don't hesitate.